Yo, just want to share something with the eyeball. Come on. I don't know if people gonna be out in the bushes. People want to come in and make comment, but um, I'm gonna show you something that was released 4 days ago. I just was waiting, but there's a whole bunch of releases that's been coming out about Texas and about some things that's been going on and the MO3 troll beef sector and with surrounding MO3s that um, you're not going to hear them say that. Um, I'm saying it because I've been down here and I've been doing, putting out paperwork, pushing justice for MO3, and some people in the family has been, and people were doing this before. I don't know why it took this long, but it was an investigation. But there was a part of it that particularly concerned me about this whole thing, and I'm gonna show you a little bit of somebody else's live, and then I'm gonna show you a little bit of my live.
Hi, I'm Robbie Manson, Assistant Special Agent in Charge with the FBI Dallas Field Office. I want to share some information about a growing threat from members of violent online networks, often called 764. Although the names of these networks are constantly changing, their activities remain the same. They seek to coerce and manipulate minor victims into harming themselves, animals, and other minors. They may even encourage victims to attempt suicide. Members of these violent online networks have typically targeted minors or other at-risk individuals, but anyone can become a victim. Members of 764 and similar violent online networks are sometimes motivated by a type of ideology called nihilistic violent extremism, or a desire to sow chaos and bring about the destruction of society. They exist throughout the United States and around the world. They frequently have unfettered access to the internet and operate on social media, gaming apps, and other online platforms. They build trust with their victims and later coerce them into sharing personal information and explicit pictures and videos, which are then used to blackmail their victims into creating additional content depicting escalating sexual and violent behavior. These individuals may further coerce their victims by using tactics such as swatting, doxing, and vandalism. The FBI is determined to identify and stop those who target the most vulnerable members of our communities. The FBI as a whole is investigating more than 450 subjects who are tied to 764 and other violent online networks. Here in North Texas, we are tackling this growing problem by leveraging our expertise in fighting crimes against children and investigating ideologically motivated crimes. We also need your help in rooting out these criminals. If you or someone you know is a victim, or if you have information about activities of a violent online network, we encourage you to call 1-800-CALL-FBI. You can also submit a tip online at tips.fbi.gov or contact your local police department. If you are in immediate danger, please call 911.
Now, first, like I said, this is from North Texas, and as you know, I've been covering most of the things that have been coming out of the Northern District of Texas, out of the federal courts, where GRC was um, being prosecuted, and then some cases came up. Some of them were Rico. Um, I don't know if you guys know why I was looking at the cases and highlighting certain parts. I was highlighting certain parts to see that the individuals that already pled guilty in these and some of this stuff that was going on, if there was something that was preventing um, a company or individual from seeking redress, which is basically, you can use that for a civil RICO. I've never been looking for a criminal RICO against anyone. Um, that ain't my twist. I ain't talking to the FBI. Now, if the FBI is out listening, y'all knew it. I've been saying it every time that I come on. You got people have come down into our chats. I don't know who they were. I don't want to know people's names because I had my targets when I came back from South Carolina. I sent out an email to Queen 88 and to Ratchet TV. Rather than them, most of the legal paperwork that I was sending to them, they started sending them to you guys. If you talked about them, I got a link that showed me some stuff about Ratchet TV. There was body cam. Some of you people have seen that body cam, and that it was under an investigation. It wasn't that he had been charged, but we have shown paperwork that he has been charged with it before, and it's messing with minors. And I really like some of you know this person, some of you know this stuff personal. I don't know when what y'all thought I was waiting for. I was waiting for the perfect time to go ahead, but I already held mock trials for Rainwater and the death of MO3. Um, some of you have been over here and saw it. You've seen that it was a white lady. I've always thought that that person was a federal agent. Um, might not have been. She might not have been. So, as far as that goes, um, the money that I was putting into um, channels, certain channels, because I thought you guys were telling the truth, end up some of you were not telling the truth. I think for the most part, Google has refunded some of the money, and yeah, Google has refunded some of the money from those channels. Um, I'm not I'm not looking to go after Empire. I don't know nothing about no Empire and their involvement in any of the deaths of either Mo3 rappers put put down. If those rappers um, met their demise, that's up for the police and the local police. That's up for the federal government to do whatever they have to do. I'm not no cop. I ain't no judge. Like I said, I have my own demons, but I have a business that I have partners, and this has been since we've been partners a long time. They have partners. I don't know who their partners are. I don't get involved in that, but people have families down here, and the way things have been operating out here. And if you don't believe this guy, I want to show you that they already released it. The Public Affairs Office. So you don't think that this is just me. This is an official site. So a lot of people been going around saying, "Oh, these are fake Like we are the receipts. It said a lot of people were saying that I was putting out fake paperwork. Well, that's on you. But I told you before that as far as I'm concerned, I don't need it. It's not a lot of evidence, not because I'm not a prosecutor, but um, I say it in a joking manner, but some people haven't been taking it as a joke. But I mean, they've been taking it as a joke, kept doing what you've been doing, and I just been steady. And some people from my company have been steadily just accumulating enough that we can take in front of a judge up here in Pennsylvania against what's happened to our company where it's located. I obtained the name MO3 sector. Um, I own that name. That's that'll be talked about a little bit later on how that's going to transfer is going. I have no wishes to be involved in this and any of this stuff right here. We don't participate in stuff like this. And this you don't see my partners. Well, some people may have seen my partners, but they haven't been on YouTube. They've been on other places, and you guys have went and started messing with them. And I'm not going to have that. And we have several businesses, but they're named several. They have several names because they do several things. We're into real estate. We're into other things. YouTube, it was my idea. I wanted to get down on YouTube and start a school down here for second chances for people. Um, I've been showing that I'm not interested in it anymore, and I don't think you guys are interested. Um, I will say this about the MO3 sector, troll beef sector. Um, sometimes some of the stuff be funny, um, but to be honest, um, in 2023, there was some paperwork that was filed. It just wasn't filed in a criminal case. It was filed in a copyright case. And there was one paragraph, and it was paragraph 23. So that paragraph 23, that did it for me. That Rainwater, it says that was it. He was in a plot with some other folks to have MO3 murdered. I'm gonna use those terms. Um, I have been talking to some people around behind the scenes, and a lot of people haven't been following the law, like doing things they're supposed to do, like um, just putting out people information and recording people. And when you're talking to people and it goes across state lines, you have to be certain that when you're talking to them, if it's a two-party state, that you have to let them know that you're recording them. And if it's a one-party state, uh, you know, if it's a one-party state, it's okay. And I believe Texas is a one-party state, but it depends where the call originates. I think it depends on where the call originate. Best practices says, and I'm not a lawyer or anything. I just know I'm not going to jail. Nobody's claiming any lawsuit against me. I've signed 9 disclosure agreements with certain people, and I waited to see if it was going to come online. The last one that did come online, um, that's when we started, you know, uh, started putting everything together that we need to move forward. So I was just waiting. So the only law enforcement officer that I know that I have spoken to was my probation officer, which I told you that some of you guys were contacting my probation officer trying to have me arrested for what? I don't know. And you're just like, help, help, help. And it named a few channels. Um, and some other people were in a certain thing and they were telling that they were going to contact um, my probation officer. Nothing became of it. I was asked one question. I was asked about being in the gang. I am not in the gang. I'm not. I'm too old for that. I'm 53 years old. I don't have time to be in no gang. I've never been in a gang. I have been indicted, and no, didn't even get indicted. I had information, so I showed you guys what I pled guilty to. Um, and it's not the things that I'm not just saying it to say that I'm proud of anything that I did, but I I learned my lesson, and as far as how to move, not saying how to move in a way to get around the law, but there's other things out there. There's other ways to earn money. Um, that was I was young when I got indicted. Then I probably was around 28 years old or 29, something like that. I don't know. I was around that age when I got indicted, and a lot of things I didn't even know was the law, and it was simply just by like a lot of my charges is lying on applications, and but I had companies, so I'm not gonna get into the specifics of that. I end up pleading guilty to it for on behalf of all of the companies. So all of those companies stayed, um, and our judgments were in personam, so they were all against me. So instead of the company, so those companies still exist. Then I formed some company. I formed two companies, more than two companies. I don't know if people disclosed that they I formed their company for them in Pennsylvania, so they could have their own company. So they have their own company on some of their channels. They have their own company and they have their own protection against some of the things that's being said on their channel. And I believe that they know it. Um, and they host people, and you know they was making a turnaround. And but I had posted a video and I said there was it was the takeover. The person didn't understand who it was, but this was back in 2023. And after that, some crimes happened in Philadelphia against me because this was right after I started releasing some of these things. So I put two and two together. The other day, someone, I don't know if you know that there is a wire at the joint, and I call it the Dallas wire. So I showed you the Dallas wire. I don't know who believes that people is on the wire, who's on the wire. If you're talking on these phones, I showed you the phone indictment, and that some of those phones, where those phones was going, where they were purchased, like if you purchased them from there. I don't know those stores. I never been in them, and I know that T-Mobile had a problem. But anyway, there were some data breaches. The data breaches come when you retrace those data breaches. They come right back to the MO3 troll beef sector, with people admitting it right on my channel. Um, so far as that's concerned, for me, I've seen enough that Rainwater was involved in the death of MO3. I believe that his family sees that same thing, um, and they want justice. I want justice. Um, I want justice for a lot more, like Roy Lee, Pete, Bubba, because it seems like some of these are the same. The same people are involved, and that goes even to Young Dolph that's out in Memphis. That goes. It's like the same people are involved. either through coverage and shoddy coverage at that. And I believe they're involved. And when I say involved, I mean involved. They had something to do with it. And it's not that, it's several cases that I can pick out. Um, whether the cases are real or they are fake. We're not being, if you're a subscriber, you're not being told whether it's fake or not. And then you're sending money in and you don't know that somebody may be shooting a movie or something like that. And you don't even know you're in the movie. So I've been watching who would do this. So you'll see right here, December 19th, 2025, they start talking about so if you take a look at this letter, it talks about the Western District of Texas. Now, I don't know if you guys know who these people are, but what did I say in 2023? In the summer of 2023, there was a lot going on. I have those videos that I made myself where now I take this stuff serious. So when people was playing with my name, and I don't play with my name, don't play with my name. I wasn't at no P. Diddy party. I wasn't on no goddamn Epstein plane. I'm not on none of that stuff. I don't have this stuff in my background. This stuff has happened to people that I know. People have expressed to me to express certain things to me behind the scenes. Some have expressed it right on my channel. You guys like to make fun of that shit. I had a lady on my channel, name is Baker, and her child was something happened to her child. She was also on the news. People know about all this stuff. It was called Brooklyn Meets Philly, and there was the involvement of certain individuals, and they kept it going. It's one thing to, something happened, and then, I came on and apologized to an individual for the reasons that I apologized to the individual that I believed had something to do with it. That individual, we maintained. He told me, he's trolling me sometimes, but he disclosed to me that he was paid by some YouTubers to do something to me. And some of these YouTubers are the YouTubers that you look at every day. And just say no to Skull, Rainwater, Ratchet TV. I don't think he said anybody else. Those are ones that's off the top of my head that he said that they paid and that they didn't do what they were supposed to do. How I got those things, that the link with Ratchet TV, they were sent to other people also. Those people didn't cover it because they had their own problems with, minor children. You guys know how y'all been doing with the doxing and all of that. I dox for Rat, see if you're Rizzy, and see if you're related to me. I don't go all into a whole bunch of things that you guys are going into. Um, Trying to, I don't even, I think that yours, some people were doing it more for um, excitement or whatever, just to keep your channels going on, just as this says right here. Um, so we're going to file our case. I'm going to get my money back. I'm going to file my case. Some people, I said that I was going to go in order, as I have shown it on there. But some of these people, I know for a fact that they were not involved. And even if they were involved, some of them are single parents. So I'm not going after them. I still have some evidence. I mean, I have a lot of evidence, things that I didn't show, and they because they're not appropriate to show on here, and it has to do with exactly what these people are saying. Um, I don't know 764, so it wouldn't be structured as 764. It would be structured as the MO3 Troll Beef Sector, GRC. GRC already made their their attempts. Um, I don't know who's watching me during the day, but I went off one day and a person came and said someone sent them to me because they were worried about me. I don't know who it was. Someone bought my doctor. You guys are releasing people's medical information. Like, I mean, you released, but one of the reasons that people release the medical information is because that allows those people that are doing that to know how to get at a person, how to irritate a person, what to do to irritate a person. So I started getting all these things about gang stalking. This is on this is on the line. This is on the wire. And the person was talking to me about gang stalking. The next thing I know, I get it on to Facebook, and just seeing that the metaverse, they got a $375 million judgment against them. I don't know if you ever knew what that shit meant, but it means something. It's, it's like a drop of what they actually make. And I don't care about Mark Zuckerberg being mad. I don't care about nobody in Congress being mad. I don't care about nobody being mad. Everybody get mad. It's what you do when you are mad. So messing with me, I mean, I had already been through it, so it was messing with me somewhat. And some things have happened. Some things have happened to my kids, like I said. And Ken No 5 says we don't know nothing over here. Real receipts, recordings, and paperwork only. And the paperwork, the recordings that I put out, um, this is you guys talking on in the me. You're talking like right out on live. Those type of recordings, I don't know if those can be considered illegal wiretapping, or else I would be in trouble. But people are, you know, confessing sins like openly on air and telling on other people that they did this and that one did that. I did make a deal, um, and that was to purchase the copyrights to anything that Soul Player TV put out. And when Soul Player TV puts things out, I started from Rainwater leaving No Jumper, and what he was saying at No Jumper that he does, that he was like actually doing until his plane landed right in Dallas and he went straight to Soul Player. I have both of those recordings and what he was saying. And I think that's probably when I got his attention and a lot of this stuff happened. But, you know, some things happen offline, and what they're asking me to do, I'm not going to do it. I'm not bringing scandal to Philly. I'm not going to do that. Let me show you some of the things that happened just last night. And when I say I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to voluntarily do this unless I had the backing of my company. So let me see. From here, we're going to stay on course. So this is the news last night in Philadelphia, but I want to show you our mayor.
North Philadelphia. The shooting happened near 17th and Cumberland Streets as a suspect was being searched. From Chopper 6, you can see police officers have a car taped off here at the scene. The investigation still unfolding. Action News reporter Amanda Pitts live from Temple University Hospital, where that officer is recovering tonight. And Amanda, you have the latest.
Yeah, Rick, we're learning that office.
The first thing is it's Temple. You notice that I have a Temple Owls hat on backwards. Someone was playing around with that, and I'm everything Philadelphia. So the first thing is Temple. I, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. So the reason why I'm not going to do it is because it's costing too much. It'll cost too much to do that. But it's blatantly obvious that someone hacked my computer, and I just want this part to be over, where somebody's fucking with my computer.
Officer had pulled over a suspect vehicle, was searching that suspect when that person's gun went off, shooting the officer in the leg. He was rushed here to Temple University Hospital, where he is currently receiving treatment. We're told he is a 20-year veteran of this police department.
Very fortunate tonight that he's not injured more seriously.
A Philadelphia police officer is recovering tonight after being shot in the leg during a traffic stop in North Philadelphia. Chopper 6 capturing the scene on the 1700 block of Cumberland Street. It was around 7:40 when police say two officers with the Highway Patrol Unit pulled over a vehicle and had the two occupants get out of the car.
One of the officers, 53-year-old officer in Highway.
Now the officer was 53 years old. That's my age. He has a family he has to go home to. Glad that he survived this. And I don't talk to the police, but I don't hate the police. You know what I mean? I don't hate the police. I have police officers in my family. I don't know nothing about nothing, but Rainwater is a working federal informant. And you notice I'm wearing on here, I'm wearing a pink tie. And the person is did you check out the video? Which video? You had to tell me which video you're talking about. So the guy Ty Harris came over here and like what? Throw the game. Okay, hold up. Let me put that on. I was gonna play something else, but let me play that. Yo, I don't think they want. They don't want this Joan to come out. They don't want this shown right now. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll check it out behind the scenes first. But as far as what else I was going to show was somebody said some. It was a live this morning, and it was somebody that was surprising to me that put it out. So I just want to show that. La, 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 la. this program. Isn't that something the Fair Use Act?
Like, what in the world is going on
I know it's going to be an eventuality there, but I have a backup for this that they can't touch. I'll never use it. But I ain't going to keep fucking playing games with you. Especially for our second broadcast. I'll be broadcasting from somewhere else where they can't turn it off. So they can keep playing this turn off game all that they want. Let me show this part right here. So you can see. From the state of Pennsylvania, you'll see this right here. They send this to my email to file the annual report. I don't have nothing to do with that former John that's doing running all them plays. I just did this for the family. Reserved the name. Yeah, that's what they want. Don't want nobody to see that. So you know it had to be a lot of money poured into this for this to happen, and it just now, where we at, 5/5/2026.
On Facebook saying who trying to make 10 bands. That's 50,000. And now you're saying you have 50,000 on Ty Harris head. Like, what in the world is going on here? So just because I feel like the sisters are guilty, I'm not going to remove Rainwater out the picture. I'm not. Even after trial and everybody go their separate ways, whether it be the girls walk away free, Rain walk away free, however it may go, I still have to stick with what I have seen over these years. I still have to stick with just that. Somebody dropped in my comments and left a very, very, very interesting comment. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick and read it to you guys. And then I'm going to get into the Ty Harris interview. Like I said, I'm not going to hold y'all long, so I appreciate everybody that's in here. Please make sure y'all hit the like up. From the top people in music she named all the way down to her point about Kiwan being innocent, she was right. They were so sure. Make it make sense. And honestly, everything Queen Domain said is lining up. From the top people in music she named all the way down to her point about Kiwan.
See that right there? I'm not into all that. You understand? I don't care about the top. I don't have beef with the top. I don't even know these jokers. I'm not trying to be caught up in no motherfucking conspiracy, no Rico or nothing. That's why I'm cutting it today. Effective immediately. I already showed you the MO3 sector. Y'all call yourself anything y'all want to call yourself and still have a board. But yeah, I don't know. I was going to even offer if the boy owes some bread, maybe we'll help him pay the bread back to who he owed. So he could just go his fucking way. But either way, I'm not gonna keep playing these fucking reindeer games over here with them keep turning off the live so people can't hear it. Because people get tired of it just going off and then gotta come back online. So they don't want to see receipts. I'll try to show you shit in writing. When I show you it in writing, if I let you see it, I let you hear it, what they're saying, my recordings, their own recordings they're saying on there, and they line up. They are lining up. Even with who's the last Let me see something.
Symbols also, but clearly that person was making. Every time. So what I'm saying is, wait till everybody get in here. K Marie, what's happening? We're gonna wait till everybody get in here. Y'all see the thumbnail, but see the title. Instead about the birds. I don't want nobody in Dallas take it personally. You know, this is in Dallas, but the second half of that, I talk about the bloggers that's in Dallas. That's what this is really about. So, Real Cuts. What's up, Real Cuts? What else we got in here? So, before I never really paid attention to and never really cared about likes or anything like that. I always just concentrated my fire, meaning that I'm focused on what I'm focused on, and that's it. Moderator, and moderator Shantae. Big handle.
Yeah. Kogati came out with his song today.
Yeah. All this pain and all these scars. Say growing up we had it hard. I'm like, who would ever thought? And we would make it this far.
Long way from where I'm trying to go, long way from where I came from. The back and watching me a joke, shot the nigga with his gun jam. I was aiming for his head and hit him in his shoulder. Ever since 3 been dead, my heart been getting colder. Used to share the same bed, bundle up when it got cold. Lights out, we light candles, heat up water on the stove. Piece of chicken, we used to share bitches and sell the same clothes. Put this nigga out of my life and now he gone. All this pain and all this scars.
Growing up we had it hard. I'm like, who would ever thought? And we would make it this far. My granny prayers still protecting me. Yeah. Say my life will last long. My mama prayers still protecting me. Yeah. While my life is getting hard. Oh, yeah.
Cause I was supposed to be dead. I was right next to JP when they shot him in his head. Never thought it would be 3, thought it'd be me instead. Bitch, you know how we play. Don't leave your house without the strap. Bitch, you know what we say. PTSD on the highway, I'm clutching. Nigga get too close to this car on my mama, I'm buzzing. End of discussion. Tell me how you ever lost your brother. And them niggas that got me killed me with security, so I can touch all this pain and all this scars.
So growing up, we had it hard. I'm like, who would ever thought? And we would make it this far. My granny prayers to protecting me. Yeah. Say my life will last long. My mama prayers to protecting me. Yeah. While my life is getting hard. Oh yeah.
She ain't raised us this way. Used to make us go to church. Every Sunday make us sing. You know we come from McKinney. That's a city full of hate. Everybody know about Nicole. Kids love and hate to see our faces. They all left, but they don't know our refrigerator empty. They don't know the lights was off when we had roaches in our kitchen. Used to tell the kids at school how my whole household was thugging. Ain't believe me till them niggas killed my brother.
All this pain and all these scars. See, growing up, we had it hard. I'm like, who would ever thought we would make it this far? My granny prayers still protecting me. Yeah, said my life will last long. My mama prayers still protecting me. Yeah, while my life is getting hard. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like that John. It's another John though I like. But it's too early in the day to play that. Even though I got this John on. What I got it on. And do that. Cause if y'all don't know what's going on, y'all don't know what's going on. This was
He
going
said,
on.
we.
All right. This is what's going on.
Something happened in Philly. Yeah, some shit went puff or poof. So if some shit went poof here, where was the ATF at? You know what I'm saying? Where was the ATF at? Some shit went poof here and then made the news. Yeah, I don't know. I know a firefighter got hurt in that. I don't know nothing about that. Yeah, he didn't
Cartel,
die.
CV. I don't know nothing about that. And this ain't the
I don't
joint where
even
we
know
be
the
trying
boy.
to this here on bad. You to drop his daughter paperwork calling you a liar. I'm not falling for that one again. I already know who
No.
this is. Hey. If Mr. Petty dissing me every day, that's on Mr. Petty. But I ain't going for that.
Alcohol.
Tobacco and firearms. Don't they handle fucking Let me drop this link. You see, people come over in the chats and talk shit. Nobody don't hit the link. So let me drop this link. If you got something to say, come hit the fucking link and say it. Yeah, don't run. Don't run because you know I know who you are. No matter how you come over here. So somebody got something to say about anything. Come up here. Don't be point. I point out who I want to point out. You ever see Mr. Petty name on the joint? So how you, if you ain't never seen Mr. Petty name on there, that means that somebody tried to give me some fake fucking paperwork, and it wasn't no paperwork. It was fucking an article. And the way it was written in a certain way to make it seem like it was one thing when it was actually something else. So, and I've seen Mr. Petty with his kid. So don't try to come over here and make this. Come hit the fucking link. The link drop. Hit the link and say whatever you gotta say. Other than that, get the fuck out of here. Because I mean. And that's how I knew who hacked the computer.